For attacking Numbani, there are 4 directions to go, and it changes drastically depending on what your team comp is running. They have supports that play back here, a DPS plays here, and the tanks play up here normally. They could have a bunker comp in this corner, they have a bunker behind the other corner. Your team could be running dive, you could be running brawl and want to push high ground. You could go under, many options, so it changes drastically, but I'll try to cover the majority of them. What I like to do is just come this right side, and if you, in lower ranks, if they're not paying attention, then you just come up here, you can see across what they're running, and then the tanks here can be booped off once you jump this corner. This gives your team a lot of pressure to come to high ground, or if they're running out mid. You can also use the same grapple to boop the tanks off and then continue your speed to go across to one of the DPS that plays in the back corner here. Now, if they scout you out though, it's easy for them to stun you, so not great. You can also, what I like to do here is grapple underneath and swing through to boop them forward. Even if they're holding farther back, you can boop them forward, so when your team's trying to take this high ground and the tanks are normally the double shield, BAP, Brig play up here, this is a good boop to get them out of position and out of the corner. If you're running dive, you can kind of just go right in. You can grapple right into the top left, you can grapple close to the top right, or you can grapple wide for far back right. This is if you have a Winston or a D.Va and you guys are just jumping right in. If they're playing bunker and they're playing this far back right, it can be annoying. Just path under here so that you're out of their line of sight for the longest time and they can't like do any damage to you. And then you want to wait here for your team to be ready and set up to jump or whatever they're doing, and then you can just boop through this entire hallway and slam, and some of them might even get booped off. You could also just sit right underneath that shield there, right underneath them, and contest point, and if they drop, then it's pretty good. And if they're playing the bunker and they go back in this corner, you can swing and boop them. Once the fight happens on point, once you've done one of these setups and rollouts, you can wall jump to here to get that Ana that still plays in that up top, or the BAP, or a soldier, just at the tree and the corner. Same with this side. Other people might rotate up there late. You can corner jump this to get up top. You can use the regular walls, but what's the point in doing a harder jump when you have this corner to slam either side? Second point, sometimes they hold this close corner. You can either come through this building to get behind them. From here you have a clean swing on their entire team. Or from this coast, you can come outside the map basically and get all the way around behind them without them even having a chance to see you. And then same clean swing on them. On the next corner, I like to swing to take high ground away. High ground is good. From here you can either decide to go on the DPS that play long range here, try to get a pick there, or if they're giving you high ground for free, then you can just poke at them from behind and engage when you see your opportunity. You could also use the same outside swing around the edge of the map and then come around the behind this way, boop through. You can wall jump off this bus and the white car to slam, or you can just grapple slam. And then the end of point, the left flank, so we can still come all the way behind them to disrupt and then bounce off the car to slam. Up here you can also jump all the way up. This is good for if you have a chance to set up before they contest last point, and then you're above them, and when they come in you're able to slam them. You can also drop down behind them and boop the backline in more so they're less safe in this cubby that they have. Or even if you wanted to minefield them off, and now the front line that's contesting point is completely split from their backline. And the end of the point, the only way to get behind them is from this high ground, all 3 directions. You can come down the staircase if they're holding close, and just be quick about it, because you might get slept or something by an Ana that's paying attention. You also drop from the high ground to swing and boop them off, or out. And you can come this bottom left to the side. They're probably going to see you, and they'll be waiting for you, but it is another option. On the next corner, you lose the high ground flanks, but you can still use the left flank. You can also grapple right into this high ground. Sometimes there's like someone that likes to play there. Or you can use this high ground, get behind them quickly, wait for your next set of cooldowns, make them like be distracted by worrying about you being somewhere, and then you can engage. And then end of point is just brawl. You can wall jump or just slam off these corners, spin around point, slam off point. There's also this interesting spot here. I don't think it's helpful at all. I've never seen a use for it, but it's cool to know that you can go up to here. Now defending, once again, it varies a lot depending on where you're running, what they're running, where they're engaging because there's so many points that they can engage from. I like to start out hiding this corner. From here, you can just quickly scout and peek what they have. If they have nothing that stuns you, if no honor, no brig, no nothing, you can swing right through them here and boop them just for some ult charge and get out with the same grapple. But if they have one stun, then you're in there by yourself. If there's a DPS that comes here, you can tightrope across with a grapple and go on them. But other than that, I like to hold here, and when they push through, you can slam them. If they don't come in this top spot, they might be coming dive. If you see the Winston looking at your Ana or something back there, you want to quickly grapple across, and then you can counter slam and help peel and tank for her. If they come underneath, you can just play from this high ground and slam onto them and just abuse high ground because you have high ground over them. And if they're coming mid or they're split and like some squishies are mid, you can drop in, take the mega, jiggle around, shoot, and you have a grapple way out to safety. If you get a hold close on the first corner here, you can just abuse this high ground above them, and as soon as like they come walking through you, you're able to slam or disrupt for free. But this first corner hold is only common if you're like spawn camping them, it doesn't happen too often. So other than that, they're gonna have the bus corner. Here you can use the bus to wall jump in and slam off them, or you can come behind quickly, go in the back line, disrupt, or you can come through this right side room and go in the back line again. But then after that corner, now you have high ground, so now it's a lot better for you. You can stay on the high ground, shoot them in the backs, and look for your engages. You also want to watch the people that try to contest this high ground, the soldier or the Ash that come up here. You can pressure them out, and then watch this flank because sometimes a hog or a Cree or someone weird will come back there. If you're holding them first corner and they're holding underneath this bridge, it's pretty good for you. You can drop down behind them so easily without them even knowing, and then they're out of safety. A minefield in here is pretty tight in here, so a minefield there's really nowhere that they can go to avoid it. On the next corner, if you were able to get this high ground beforehand, then it's pretty good to set up from because you can slam them or drop down and boop them out. But if you weren't able to get there early, then you won't be able to get there, and you just have to stick to the right side flank. You also want to watch, sometimes a flanker will come this way, try to get a pick on your teammate in the back without them watching, and you gotta watch that, make sure they don't get that to happen. At the end of this point, you're ball, so you're the one that anchors point, you're the best one to tank and to self-sustain on point. You can slam off point, spin off point, but it's really your job to stay on point. If you have a roadhog or something, then you could go and try to go on the back line,